big day today.
I did, I really did.
What was the weather like in Bethel when you left?
When I left, it was cloudy and it was pretty good, and it wasn't raining at all, like yesterday.
Okay.
And yesterday, my wife and me were sponsors. My nephew got married. They asked us to sponsor them. So we were there. I had a full suit on.
Really?
I haven't worn a suit in a long time, but that day I had to.
Wow. Well, this is Frank Ashapak?
Ashapak.
Ashapak.
In Yupik, Ashapak would pronounce it Asipak. Asipak it's really good. That's what it means.
Okay.
But in English, Ashapak.
From the Bethel area, and then you live in a village so many miles up the Kuskokwim, and it's Quigluk?
Quigluk.
Quigluk?
And if you don't know how to pronounce Quigluk, all you got to do is Quigluk.
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 Yeah.
All you got to do is look quick and call it Quigluk.
I see. All right. How many people live there?
I believe over 700 people living there.
Okay. Wow. And your Morris had told me about the fish camp. Your fish camp is close by to the village then?
Close by, about maybe a couple miles. And I like that spot.
I saw the pictures on his phone, just incredible. Did you see them as well, the pictures he took on his phone?
I saw the real thing.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Right. That's probably the best.
The pictures I have, no.
Okay. Yeah, so when we look at this TV series, we're trying to capture, what's going on in your area of the world. And so many people, when they look at Alaska and they think of the native people, they think of Eskimos. Everyone's an Eskimo. But there's so many groups they're broken down. The Yupik and the Nupiat, and then you've got. I'm curious to ask you about the Aleut. If are Aleut Yupik people, then you've got Athabaskan and Tlingit and Haida. Maybe you could tell me.
And then there's Chupik people that live down the coast from our area. And then from there, we talk in Yupik, and as it goes down the coast, the language changes a little bit, and so forth until it gets up there in St. Michael. We almost have the same language from St. Michael. From there it changes going up to Inupiaq.
I see.
And I can't understand if the Inupiaq people are speaking in their language. I would never understand them.
Really? Wow.
And then over in Siberia, if I'm talking in my Yupik language and they're there, they would fully understand what I'm saying. And in return, when they speak in their language, no, I can't understand them, only very little.
Wow, interesting. And I mean, these are from the Siberian?
Yes.
Interesting.
Or St. Lawrence Island or Gamble.
Diamede.
Those. Diamede, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, what, I got so many questions to ask you, but do you, this is the first time you've been down to the lower 48 in quite a few years. Your last time?
Quite a few years.
What year?
Maybe 14, maybe 15 years ago.
And you were in Bend, Oregon before?
Before.
And you were, and that's when you finished that school, I believe you said, or you got your GED.
That's where I got my GED, Bend Community College.
How was it that at the school where you were born and raised, how was it that you only made it to the 6th grade? What happened?
Well, from my house where we lived when I was going to school in Bethel, I had to walk 3-4 miles to the old Moravian Church building. That was the only school we had there. And then later on down the years, they built us a new school, and we moved. And the very first time in Bethel area, the very first time I drew a porn picture of a man and a woman.
Okay.
And then it got around, and my friend, everybody started laughing, and the principal came out and wanted to know what was going on. So he checked it out, and that's when they kicked me out before I even reached 6th grade.
Oh no. No, one offense is all it took.
One offense, that's all it took.
They're strict.
Oh man, they really were.
Jeez.
But it was okay long after years.
Mm-hmm. But then when you worked your way to Oregon for job opportunity, I believe, or what brought you to Oregon?
They had an advertisement there in Bethel for a job course.
Okay.
Here down in Yachats, down the coast. And I thought to myself that I better go to educate myself. I want to know things. Mm-hmm. So I came down, they accepted me, and from there, that's where I started learning your language, or I should say English language.
Mm-hmm. And then were you married to your wife at that time, or
no, sir.
You were still a pretty young man?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. How did you find your wife?
Damani Witachala Nuchtachlimni Bendorican Namen. When I was living down in Yachats, and when I moved to Bend, Oregon, that's when I found my wife.
Ah, really?
My former wife.
Okay. She's native?
No, she's
Okay.
not native at all.
Oh, okay. Talking about nationalities, what is your parents? Were they both native, or any white man in them at all? Russian? I'm curious.
No, they're both Yupik people.
Okay.
And in my bloodline, what they call, I'm 4-4 bloodline, whatever that means.
I'm not sure. Huh.
I haven't asked.
I see.
Usually, if I want to know something, I ask.
When you remember being with your parents and talking to them, do they tell you where you came from? Was it from the Great Bering Land Strait and from Asia then, or is that? Do you have any recollection of that conversation with elders?
They never did tell me what you just asked me. They never did tell me where I come from or who came from where.
Yeah, everyone's mixed. But like when you look at, we know that the Tlingit and the Haida, Athabaskan, they're a different group of people. And they look different as well, I take it.
They look different, but in reality, we are all the same. We are all the same. That's what I just got them telling you in my Yupik language.
Okay, say that again.
Tamamta ayukukut. We are all the same.
Interesting. Wow. When you look at the Yupik language, is any of that derived from Russian, or Russian words intermingled with that? Because Russia had a presence in Alaska for so many years.
The part of it, yes, but most of it, what I understand, most of it was just Yupik.
And then the people up north towards Nome, Unalakleet, Barrow, that group of people are called what now?
Inupiaq.
And how would you spell that?
I don't really know.
But it ends in a K or a Q?
Inupiaq.
Okay.
I-N-U...
Okay, Inupiaq.
Yeah, Inupiaq.
Okay. Wow. And then when, like you say, they can understand you, but when they speak...
Inupiaq people can't really understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
Vice versa.
I see.
But in Gamble, around that area, in Siberian Eskimo, they can understand me in my language, like I told you.
When you look at this TV series, what do you envision? What would you like? What message would you like to get across? What is your hope? Like when you say you kind of go to a quiet place and open up your mind, what enters your mind when you think about this possibility and what things we could do here?
Let me tell you something, Bill. When I was growing up in my later years, somehow I wanted to be an actor somehow. That was a long time ago. But I just keep thinking that. But I don't think it'll really happen, but I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be fun, and if I ever turn famous, my lifestyle will never change.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be just me. I'll treat people like I've always treated them.
Sure.
Fair.
Yeah, there you
Fair
go.
and square, Bill.
What is when you look at yourself? 2015 is over. What are the main things that preoccupy your time during 2015 this year? Tell me either your cycle that you go through. Is it mostly the hunting and fishing, or chores, finishing your home, or what takes up most of your time during the day?
I'm busy doing something all the time. I'm either hunting, gathering up food for my family, subsistence. It's what they call subsistence. Mm-hmm. I'm usually doing that. Hunting season come around, then I'm gone. I hunt for my family, for my friends, for the elders, even though I'm an elder now.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, what animals do you hunt?
I hunt moose,
Mm-hmm.
caribou,
Mm-hmm.
muskox.
Muskox?
Muskox. Now you can hunt muskox.
Hmm.
They multiply, then you can go out and hunt muskox.
Oh.
Porcupines, muskrats,
Mm-hmm.
squirrels,
Okay, yeah.
brown bear, black bear. Black bear is the best meat you can eat. You smoke that black bear, and it's going to taste like ham.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
I said that's the best meat you can eat.
Wow. Then what fish? I know there's salmon in the Kuskokwim. Are there other? Or do you go for trout at all?
Trout, we go for lake trout, dolly martins, pike really good eating too.
Really?
Seal oil. Oh man, a lot of people don't know that. Now my mouth's watering thinking about that pike. Eating
Really? They're oily then?
No,
Oh.
they're not oily.
No. Okay.
Yeah, really good.
But it's tasty though. You like the pike?
Tasty, yes.
I never had that.
If you do, you would always want to eat pike.
What about grayling?
Grayling, oh man. Sushi, even trout.
Mm-hmm.
Sushi, oh
Like
man.
like sushi, huh?
Oh, tasty. You can eat it
Wow.
raw right now.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Gee, that would be great to take in someday. What about berries? Are there many berries that you harvest there?
Yes, in certain times of the year we harvest berries first. The salmon berries, we harvest
You
them.
do.
And then the blueberries, and then cranberries, locust cranberries.
Okay. I see. And then what about eggs? Do I know up in Unalakleet, certain times of the year, they go up in the hills, nesting areas when they're laying eggs. I don't know what type of birds, but they gather eggs and get it then. Do you do that at all there?
We do too around our area. We gather goose eggs, mallards, even seagulls. But crow, no, not crow.
Yeah.
Swans, cranes, around the lakes. That's
I see.
where most of them are nesting.
Interesting. When you were a kid, what chores did you do?
I
A
did
young man.
everything what my told me to do. Go out and saw wood, chop wood, bring all the wood in the house, and the timber, the wood that I use a handsaw, Bill, 2-man handsaw, and I couldn't even lift them logs. I cried trying to lift them logs up. I cried,
Hey,
and pretty soon I could lift
do
them
it.
up.
Tell me about the house that you grew up in.
The house I grew up in was a one room. It was a mud house. Had dirt floor, and my bed had a grass for mattress. Those were the happiest times of my life. I'd run out of that house, no pants, deep snow. I'd run around in the snow and run back in. And then our stove, you know, them 50-gallon drums, it was cut in half and put together. That's what we used to heat the house with.
Wow, interesting. Did you use, when you were a younger kid, did they still use whale oil back then for lamps, or kerosene lamps by then? What did you use for light?
That's all we used, kerosene lamps.
Yeah.
That's all we used. No electricity, nothing. No refrigerators,
They had
nothing.
the honey buckets,
Honey buckets.
long, keep it outdoors, keep it
Keep
away.
it outdoors. When I was growing up in that mud house, we used to run outside and use a outhouse out there. And it didn't bother us at all.
You know, you've lived there for quite a few years, then I don't know, things have changed so much in Oregon. When I grew up, what would you say would be the biggest changes that you've experienced there in Quikluk?
Gwichlook.
Yes.
Gwichlook is grown little by little. We had honey bucks for a long time, and then now we have running water. And we're not getting that water from the well. What they're doing is that they're getting that water from Gwichlook River, and they pump it up to the well station, and from there it's all taken care of, all the chemicals, not too much though, but when that water comes out of the faucet, it's clear, and it tastes
Tastes good, huh?
super good.
Wow. And you have flush toilets now.
Flush toilets now.
There you go. Man, you're pretty fancy there, I'll tell you.
And then, but I do have a steam house.
What's the word?
Makiwik.
Make?
Makiwik. In there, when I make makik, in there sometimes it'll go over 240 degrees
Hey.
in there.
I don't know.
And then you go in, you can stay in there for like maybe 5 minutes or more, and then come out to the porch and cool off.
Wow.
It's wet.
You got the hot rocks there then, or
Lava rocks on top of the stove. I took a picture
for the water?
of my steam house,
Okay.
what it's really like in there, that stove. Got lava rocks in there. We had boiling water. You take that, we have a dipper, and pour on the rocks of that boiling water.
Well,
And then when you sweat, all that dirt you have in your body, it comes out and it rolls off.
Yeah. Wow. I like it. What about the white man technology? I guess you got the boats, and you've got of course you had ammunition and rifles when you were growing up. But how has the white man technology worked its way into you're dependent on it? How, I guess everyone is to some degree. Yeah.
It was introduced to us the white man way, and some was good, some was bad, but to me, it was good. I wanted to know everything. If I want to know something, I'll ask. That's the only way I learned, asking.
Right. That's the way that I am too.
Tá bhfuil asachta all a boat, motor. Before that, yeah, they had little motors,
I see.
5 horse, 10 horse,
Hmm.
rope start, and
Right.
you go like 3-4 miles an hour. Oh man, that's really fast.
Your house that you built, how do you heat it mostly? Do you have wood stove?
The house
Yeah,
I
you're.
built right now, I got a monitor heater in there, and it's a 2-story.
Hmm.
All my life, I dreamt about having a 2-story house.
Really? All right.
Ever since I was little, I told my friends I lived in a 2-story house, and now it happened.
Wow.
And
Great.
and then I have a wood stove in there, and that's what we use for heat,
Pretty much, huh?
pretty much.
Yeah. No oil furnace or.
The monitor, no oil furnace, but the monitor using #1 stove oil.
Oh. So there is a what? No. What's a monitor? A furnace or?
It's not a furnace; it's called a monitor heater.
Okay. And it does burn
It does burn fuel,
the diesel.
diesel,
Okay.
no gas.
So it's like a backup then. I see. Interesting. Well, let me think what else. God, there's so much to cover. What other items did you want to, and this is our introductory session. What's today? Monday the 31st. You traveled a long ways today.
Long ways, but everything turned out really good. Everything hit just right for me to get here.
I think so. Okay.
I want to thank you for bringing me down here.
Yeah.
That's what I just got done telling you.
Aye. Right. It's incredible language. That's do they speak Yupik out on the Aleutian chain? Maybe you haven't had the opportunity
I
to
haven't had the
speak
opportunity to
with.
go there,
Yeah.
and I haven't had the opportunity to ask somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just
But
curious.
now, when I go back, I'll be asking questions.
Well, I'll have to use that dictionary that you gave me. I'll try to pick
The
away at
dictionary I
that.
gave you, I want you to do your homework. When you get it down, if you need help with the words, I'll circle my wife's phone number. She knows that
Oh,
more about that
I
book
see.
than I do.
okay.
If you want to know something, spell it out, and she'll tell you.
Good. How many kids do you have?
I got 3 kids
Oh, okay.
up there, and here and down here I got two
Right,
girls.
the two girls.
A lot of grandkids that I haven't seen. And
That must be exciting. See them tomorrow.
I'm
was-
getting there.
I got a
getting
great big watermelon. It's still outside. Well, it's cooling down, but it's from this Mexican store, and it's oblong. Looks like a big tube. It looks like a big huge chunk of bologna or something. And I think it might be I don't think it's the seedless watermelons, the old style where you had actual seeds in watermelon. Do you even get watermelon in your village at all, or?
Only from the grocery stores down in Bethel.
Yeah.
And sometimes in a native store we do once in a great while.
Do you have a garden at your house?
No, we don't. But no,
Because
I wanted to grow one in my fish camp, but we didn't really have time to do it.
before it was called Bethel, it used to be called this native name that meant smokehouse people. Starts with an M.
Mam Dreetgemute.
There
Mam
you go.
Dreetg is Bethel. Mam Dreetg.
And that's what it was called before the missionaries named it as Bethel.
Yeah.
And that means smokehouse or smokehouse people then?
Probably, but I'm not really sure.
Then what are the other villages upriver from you?
Upriver,
What do you have there?
upriver, where I grew up, it'll be Guik. That's where I was growing up, in the mouth of Guik River.
Okay.
And then up there, called Guichluk. Guichluk means bad river. That river, as you go up, starting to get swift. up there. That's where it gets really bad.
Tricky in a boat, huh?
In a boat, that's where very few people got in an accident and died. That's why they call it the Guichluk,
Really? I
that
see.
river.
Then what other villages are up further?
Up further, when you coming up from Bethel, you go through Church Slough, and there's a Y. This on the right side goes to Guichluk, Akiak, Tulaksak, Adiak, Kalskak, Lower Kalskak, Upper Kalskak, Adiak, Chwachbalk, Adiak, and McGrath.
Wow.
And on the left side, Akiachok.
Okay. Wow.
And they join up there, the river.
Oh, I see. Do you work your way up there at all to many of the villages up north then, or I guess that would be more to the east, upriver?
On the Kuskokwim? Yes, I have.
Yeah. I mean, every year, do you have friends up there that you visit? And
I do have friends, yes.
wow. And your main, there's no road or anything. You go by boat. I take it.
No road, Bill, you would never see cement world up there.
Yes. Like you saw here.
Everything's dirt, buddy.
All right. What did you think about that ride coming in? What were you thinking about? All the concrete? A lot of bags of concrete. A lot of 80-pound bags of concrete on that road.
On that road. That too much.
Yeah. Well, I look forward for you to see downtown Portland during the day. It's quite beautiful and more of the river. But yeah,
I want to take a whole bunch of pictures, Bill, with my my modern cell phone.
I got you. Yeah, I don't blame you.
My magic collar.
Tell me briefly again when your boat broke down, and there's a part that. Let's just spend a little time on that again.
Okay.
I'd like to get that if possible.
Me and my first cousin were traveling from Bethel to our fish camp. We had a fish camp upriver from Bethel. And then our motor broke down. And then my cousin and I were looking at that motor, and he told me we had a broken part, and I didn't ask him what part. So I came back up to the front and sat down. I was thinking, what could we make a part for that motor to work? I was thinking really hard. And after that, all of a sudden my mind just opened up. Bill, it opened up and I could see everything.
Wow.
And I got scared and it went back to normal.
Wow.
And if I didn't get scared, Bill, I would be a genius today. I would top Eisenhower or whoever
Einstein.
Einstein, yes.
Wow.
I could see everything.
But you still use that today, don't you, to some degree?
To some degree,
Because when you think,
when I think, I can think of something for maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe less than a week, and then I can get it. But I don't want to think. If I think about you, for you to get in an accident, no, I won't use that on any people at all. I only think good thoughts.
All right, there you go. Well, like my friend of mine said, thoughts are things, and that's basically what you're saying. Your thoughts are things. So, did you end up finding a piece of metal or a part to make the boat run?
We never did.
So
It never happened.
Hopefully, you're able to drift downriver back home, huh?
Yes.
Really? Yeah. Tell me about other times. I'm sure this has happened to you. You've been stuck out in the bush, either wintertime, summertime. I'm sure you've had breakdowns, or maybe you get lost once in a while.
I never did really have a breakdown, but when I was going up hunting in my boat, I parked the boat and I didn't put the anchor out. And I walked up on the tender and looked around. And maybe 10 minutes later I walked down and my boat was across there floating
Jeez.
out in the wild. And in my backpack, you know what I had? I had black trash bags.
Okay.
So I stripped them down in little strips and tied them together, and I found a stick,
Oh no.
and I could throw that stick across a couple of times. Finally got in the boat, caught the boat, and I
Really?
pulled my boat back.
Jeez.
I lucked
Otherwise,
out.
it's heading for the ocean.
Otherwise, yeah, I could have been stuck,
I'll be damned.
and I had no way of getting a hold of nobody.
Wow. What about snow machines?
No machine, no, I haven't.
You don't have one.
I used to have one, but not anymore.
You get a pretty good amount of snow where you're at then, or no? Because you're on the close to the coast, maybe not so much, huh?
We're about 90 miles inland from
Okay.
the coast. And when I was growing up, we used to have a lot of snow.
Okay.
And later on down the years, way later on down the years, not that much snow. And the ptarmigans we had, they used to be on the willow trees, just hanging there. Lots.
A lot of them.
I used to go out there and pluck them off them trees. And now, no, you don't see nothing.
The ptarmigan.
Ptarmigan. Only very few on the
So there is some type of climate change. I
Climate
guess, going
change,
on.
yes. And snow, we don't get as much snow like we used to.
Really? Okay.
The very first snow machine that I got a ride from my uncle from Guichler to Bethel, that was 2-track snow machine. That was my very first time.
I like it. Wow. What other thoughts do you want to convey at this time about that you want people to know about your people and the community that you live in?
There is a vast amount of things, different things to see out there, Bill. What you or some other people haven't seen what it's really like out there. It's really different, Bill.
Right. What's the biggest difference that you see? You mean visually, or
Visually,
just the way of life, or?
The way of life, the way people do things, the way people hunt, it's totally different.
What about the religion? Are you Russian Orthodox at all?
I'm Russian Orthodox. In my village we have a Russian Orthodox church and a Moravian church.
Moravian.
Moravian. That's where the Moravian people came to Bethel. That's where, from there, it spread out. Even Russian Orthodox is spread out too.
So Moravian it's not affiliated with. It's a different sect of Christianity then.
All together, it's all the same. You worship
Sure.
the same Creator, God.
Sure.
Ayukuk,
Is that what?
same thing. You're worshiping the same thing. What I've seen, it's no different.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. So I think we're gonna take a pause now, and I think it's gone pretty good. And what's one great thing about the cameras, we can look at the camera now. Go ahead, just do it. And they can cut it anytime they want.
Yeah.
When they edit it, they can just cut whenever they want to.
Kapsuku. Cut it. Yeah, kapsuku.
Right.
Cut it.
There you go. He's the official.
Daughter.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Daughter. Okay?
Okay. Dorka,
Shoot.
you got it. What? Shoot what?
Whatever you
Oh,
want
I'm
to
sorry.
ask me.
Cut.
Now, ask him the question about his mother-in-law being canonized.
Yeah. So that's quite an honor. Tell me how that came about.
That came about, that I don't really know. But my late mother-in-law, I knew her. And that's when I met my wife. And I knew her very well. She treated me like I was her own son. That's how she treated people. Really good. And then the mother-in-law used to tease my wife about me getting married to her. And we've seen each other, or been with, for 13 years. And those years, we haven't did nothing wrong. Nothing. We just talk and kiss every now and then.
Sure.
And
But she was well thought of in the church to have this nomination, perhaps to be canonized. And I'm not really sure what that means myself.
I don't really know what that means either. But she was canonized. But and her picture's in the church,
It is. Wow.
and we have it in our house hanging.
And that's
Hanging,
this isn't the Merovingian. It's the Russian Orthodox Church.
Russian Orthodox Church.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
I should have took some pictures from the church and I brought them out for you to see.
When they bury people where you're at, is there permafrost?
Yes,
Really?
permafrost. You dig down. It'll be a certain time of the year or any time of the year. You dig down like about maybe summertime, 2-3 feet, and you hit permafrost.
Thick?
Thick,
Pretty thick?
thick.
Wow.
And then from there, that's when the work really begins.
I bet. I
Dig
bet.
down there,
All ice, solid ice, huh?
sweat.
Jeez.
6 feet down. But after that, sometimes it'll be like maybe 2-3 feet thick, and all of a sudden it's good again.
Good digging again.
Good digging again.
Wow, interesting. Huh. That would be hard to get through, though. Jeez. Yeah. Well, interesting. Well,
All the graves are done by hand.
they are.
Done by hand.
Wow, the
No
digging.
machinery.
Wow. Jeez. Huh. But but so you got to get through. So there's ice to deal with no matter what time of year.
No matter what time of the year, there's permafrost to deal with.
Wow.
Sometimes even middle of the winter, soft digging all the way down 6 feet. That's weird.
Do there's the site where your parents are buried, I take it.
Both my parents are buried down in Bethel.
They are. Okay. Interesting. So Bethel now has fast food places, and do you ever get into that? I mean, they got McDonald's there now, is that right? Or am
No
I?
McDonald's.
No McDonald's.
Subway.
Subway.
I guess Subway moved in. Oh boy.
Mostly Korean restaurants, Chinese restaurants mostly.
Okay. Koreans are there, huh?
I don't really spend my time down in Bethel.
Yeah. Wow. Great.
And the food prices in my village may be 2-3 times higher than Anchorage.
Yeah.
Go down to Bethel, a little lower. And the gas prices in my village, $6.79 a gallon.
Wow. You have your own vehicle then? A car, truck?
Truck. I bought that in 2000. That's a 2000 model F-250.
Okay.
I won it when I was down here, living down here in Oregon, on the coast, in Central Oregon. My thoughts, I want a Ford pickup all those years. That's what I think.
It came about.
And then finally, it came about.
So how did you get it to your place? Did you drive it to Anchorage?
Now, when I got in Anchorage, I test drove that truck for 13 miles and I bought it.
Mm.
And I had it shipped out to Bethel. That was in winter time.
Okay.
And then when it got there, you know how much it cost me to take it out?
I don't know.
It cost me $6,000 to take it out.
Jeez. Now from where to where?
From Anchorage to Bethel.
Yeah. $6,000?
$6,000 a day. I
Gee,
guess they
that's-
go by the foot.
Seems a lot to me.
It is.
Huh.
That's a highway robbery.
Man, that's, they gotta, because you think, a barge would be the, you think that's where they should, is that how they bring in the groceries then, by barge, or is
Barge,
that air
plane.
freight mostly?
Freight, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you ship it in with a barge, it'll cost you almost same.
Mm-hmm.
3,000. It depends. They go by the foot.
Wow.
It depends on what vehicle you want to ship in.
That's a lot, boy. But you don't have any other option. What else can you do?
Nothing.
Unless you can parachute it or something.
They got you. They got you, Bill.
By the cojones. Actually. How do you say cojones in Yupik?
I don't know.
they don't lower themselves and talk about that, huh? That's good. Well, that's great. Well, I look forward to tomorrow. And
Huingatu.
yeah,
Huingatu. Huingatu.
Huinatu.
Me too.
There you go. That'd be good.
Unnoaku.
I like it.
Tomorrow. Unnoaku.
See some grandkids. That'd be fantastic, won't it?
Yes, it will.
Make the heart feel warm.
Oh, man, you know it.
That's great, man.
The grandkids are the greatest. You raise your own family,
Mm-hmm.
but the grandkids are the most inner part of the grandparents.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's the way it is.
Because you, up in where you live, you have several grandchildren.
Yes, I do.
There now. From your son's name is
Dimitri
yeah.
and my daughter Tamara.
Okay. All right. And Tamara lives in Warm Springs.
No, she lives right there in my village.
Tamara.
And Dimitri lives down in Bethel.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's okay. And then, and between those two, how many grandchildren?
I got 5.
Between the two of them.
Yeah.
I see. Wow.
5, 7.
And then your other 2 daughters in Oregon, their names are?
Minnie and Felicia.
Okay. And then between them, I think they have quite a few grandchildren.
I believe 12.
Yeah, wow.
And then I have a great granddaughter.
Okay.
I call her the great one, but I haven't told my
Yeah.
daughters.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
call her the great one.
Well, we'll see.
That's what I'll be calling
We'll
her.
see how great she is
the
tomorrow.
Great one.
That's great. Well, I look forward to it. I think this has been a great session. So how do you feel? Pretty good?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I think so. You're easy to talk with, that's for sure.
Not nervous at all. I'm not nervous about anything.
Yeah, that's that's the way to be. I can understand you great. You speak great English. You had mentioned to Morris that, are people going to be able to understand me? I think it's just fine. Well, that's great, man.
But if I talk in my Yupik
Mm-hmm.
language, then maybe you would understand what I'm saying. If you're interviewing me and I'm seeing my Yupik, nobody was going to understand.
When you're at home, are you pretty much talking Yupik all the time?
Yupik, yes.
Well, so this much English is a little bit of a workout for you then.
A little bit,
Yeah.
but I can speak
Shift
it.
gears.
I can speak it really good if I want to.
All right.